Greetings from Walt Disney World. It's What's New at Saratoga Springs Resort update. We're going to cover updates to the pool areas and to the villas. And stay tuned at the end. We'll show you a tour of a recently refurbished Deluxe Studio tour. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. I am Dave's Disney. This is our show for all the Disney fans in our audience to show you what's new and why you should visit Walt Disney World in the future. So what is Saratoga Springs Resort? It's a Disney Vacation Club resort designed for long-term stays for members of the Disney Timeshare program, of which I'm a longtime member. It's the largest resort complex at Walt Disney World. 880 units plus 60 beautiful three-bedroom treehouse villas, all on 65 acres of lush wilderness on Walt Disney World property. It's actually been there in some form since the mid-70s. They have deluxe studios. They have one-bedroom suites, two-bedroom suites, and three-bedroom grand villas, and then the three-bedroom treehouse villas, which are a little different. Everything above the deluxe studio does have a full kitchen, which is very important for those long-term stays. And it's right across Lake Buena Vista from Disney Springs. The Congress Park neighborhood of Saratoga Springs actually looks partly at Disney Springs. So I'm going to show you a little bit of updates. We were there a few months ago, I will say, so some of this footage is not as up to date, but we'll show you what was happening in the springtime when we were there. So first thing we're going to look at is a good morning from yoga that they do down at the Congress Park neighborhood. Good morning from Congress Park, Saratoga Springs. They moved this fountain. They have family yoga in the morning if you're motivated. This whole area looks different. A lot of construction going on. It looks like they're putting in a new lighting for a new show that you view from Disney Springs. This is all brand new. They've increased the vegetation on the edge for safety. And you'll see in a minute that the sod hasn't even healed over yet from where they dug the channels. We haven't been here probably in a couple of years at least. Lots of changes going on. We're staying in a refurbished room. They're finally done with all the renovation. All new and modern. We'll show that video in a minute. And you can see these are recently installed. And we're guessing they're lights. We shall see. So if you've been to Disney Springs and heard about the drone show, you do watch it mostly from Disney Springs. You could watch it from Congress Park and Saratoga Springs. That was all done and put in to have the background lighting. The main show itself is the drones, but there is some background lighting. And that was all done for that show. Very cool. The time I filmed it, I didn't realize what it was for. I'm going to show you another video now, walking down the stretch of Congress Park. Partly why I'm showing you this video is this is a walk you need to do in the morning, no matter where you stay in Saratoga Springs with our treehouse villas, or we were over in the paddock area. Take this walk down the Congress Park in the morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. Don't bother the people doing yoga, but walk down to the gazebo at the end near the Saskatchewan River that goes up to the resorts past Disney Springs. It's a wonderful walk. This will show you the time, which has changed now, as you saw the rain in Central Florida this summer. But in the springtime, the water levels were historic low that they couldn't even run the ferry boats up to Old Key West and Port Orleans resorts because the water levels were so low at that time of the year in the spring. Good morning from Congress Park, Saratoga Springs. That's Disney Springs in the distance. The old west side. New Circus Soleil show. Check it out. Drawn to life. Quick update in the area. You may have heard if you're staying here recently. They no longer run the boats up to Old Key West because the canals here are so low. And that buoy right there is supposed to be standing straight up. But there's so much slack in the line it's not standing. And usually the water, there's a water line, but usually it's almost brimming to the top of that. So it's a good 2 feet off peak and a foot off normal. And there's an Ahinga sunning himself. Take advantage of the extra ledge. And this is just a natural phenomenon. They've really missed rain here on the way up. Driving from the Florida Keys, I saw burnt out medians in the highway the whole entire way north of Port St. Lucie. So the whole Central Florida region is just short water right now, but rain is expected in the forecast. Oh, it was. By the time we came back in mid-July, water levels were fine. They were brimming with water. That's how it goes in Florida. But just again, that walk is so beautiful. And you continue that walk around a gazebo that we were standing in up back to the road that goes back to the center area. Next up, let's talk about the pool areas, both the Paddock neighborhood pool where we stayed and the Congress Park pool were recently refurbished. We actually did a barbecue in Congress Park pool, which will be a little bit in the video I'm going to show you. First up, I do want to cover the Paddock, which was our home pool. This pool is very important, something different about it versus some other pools. This pool does have a snack bar. Welcome to the Paddock pool, Disney Saratoga Springs Resort in the Paddock area, across the walking bridge from the carriage house in the Springs. They have their own grill here, the Paddock Grill. We're going to check out the menu in a minute. I'm on the walking bridge that crosses over the pool area. Very cool. Beautiful slide. And the kids' smaller slide and splash pad area over here. So we stay in the Paddock. Check out the Paddock pool. Beautiful. Very cool that it has a snack bar because it is a bit of a walk to get to the main resort from there. Next up, we'll cover Congress Park, which has a grill. You can grill, which we did and had a great time. It's one of the few barbecues on Walt Disney World campus you can use that are in the resorts like this. And there is a listing, if you Google it, it's like Mom's Parks panel, which is a great panel for Disney. And they talk about where the grills are located at Saratoga Springs and other resorts on campus. And we took full advantage of that. And after this one, I'll talk about the other pools on campus. This is Congress Park neighborhood where we hung out for the afternoon. Congress Park Pool, Saratoga Springs Resort, Walt Disney World. We are right across the lake from Disney Springs in the distance. You'll see the Cirque du Soleil tent there, kids playground. We're here checking out the barbecue area, one of two on campus. The other one is in the grandstand by that beautiful racing pool. This one here has a view of Disney Springs in the water with two grills, two picnic tables, trash can, recycle can. All looks very new and redone. This grill here is the bigger grill, an emergency telephone in case you cause a fire. This one's a bit wider than the other one, so plan accordingly. Bring charcoal. Make sure you put it out when you're done. Don't worry, Disney will do the cleanup for you. Just make sure the fire's out. This one's a little bit smaller. We're going to grill here later. Stay tuned. We had a great time. Again, that was just recently redone. And what a convenience to have that. And then we went to the pool afterwards and hung out, which was wonderful. Bring your own. And then again, Disney does the cleanup. And bring your own food and you'll be good to go. Next up, other pools behind campus, I do want to talk about the grandstand. Has that cool racing pool. Looks like there's actually horse racing going on around the pool in the kids' play area. And then obviously the big pool is in the Springs area. That's the main pool at the main campus, the main carousel building where you check in, where the main artist palette, where the Turf Club restaurant is, where everything happens in the fitness center, all at Walt Disney World. Keep in mind, a quick little update. Turf Club has a new menu. Very underrated restaurant for a reason because it wasn't very good for a while. And there's so many restaurants in Disney Springs next door to go to. That has a new chef and new menu. It's much better. And the spa is still, unfortunately, not open. The only spa on campus open is still the one by Grand Floridian. Besides that, the resort is looking near new. Next up, speaking of looking new, is a refurbished Deluxe Studio tour. This has been done in phases. So we stayed here 2 years ago. We had a refurbished room, but this was a little plus on that. Disney sometimes will change their designs as they refurbish if they see a need for an improvement based on guest complaints, because refurbishments could take a couple years. Again, this is 880 units over 65 acres. It just doesn't happen in a day. They also had some delays that were in the papers for some disputes with the contractor a couple of years ago, but now it's done. And here's what the refurbished Deluxe Studio tour looks like. Saratoga Springs. We are here, Mother's Day weekend 2024. Newly updated Deluxe Studio with progressive refurbishment, hard goods. You can tell by the new Murphy beds and the wood floors. We stayed here like 4 years ago. The guy's like, oh, don't worry, your unit will be refurbished. We're in the paddock area, right across from Congress Park, one building up. So the Disney walkway is not too far away. We'll show you the pull-down Murphy bed, the new trend at Disney. The interactive TV, you can stream stuff. You just can't stream YouTube. Beautiful mirror. Hello, hello. Great view from this building. I got a corner unit, so we get the extra view of a corner peek I'll show you in a second. But when you sit down, all you look at is the hidden Mickeys. but fun to stand up and view. Across the way is a spring section. In the distance is the walkway to the springs and to the carriage house. This is not a preferred section, but it's close to preferred, being near Congress Park. And there's our little peak, being a corner unit. It's fantastic. Better view of the bedroom. Deluxe Studio sleeps 4. It doesn't have the trundle bed. So keep that in mind when you book these. This is 4 max, 2 and 2. Just one hand pull down. Aww. Of course, everything's horse themed. We'll check out the bathroom. It does have plenty of storage. Big dresser. I think smaller dresser and a 5th trundle bed would be better, but what do I know? Got the separate sink and water closet. Beautiful bathroom. Again, hard goods refurbishment recent, all redone. Basically stripped the units clean. And of course, a kitchenette with microwave and sink, because it's a Deluxe Studio Disney Vacation Club property. A couple things to clarify in that video. I talk about a hard goods refurbishment. Disney has different levels of refurbishment for all the resorts. Please note, Disney Vacation Club resorts have their own budget. They are on a different timeline than the resorts run by Disney Travel Company. Why? Because its owner invested through our dues, and sometimes the timeline's a little longer. So we checked in. I do want to end this show on a cast member, some magic, and a cast member stories. When we checked in again, well, God, that'd be almost 6 years ago now. And the guy's like, you're in the Packers area? Don't worry, your unit's getting refurbished soon. I'm like, and it was pretty rough. But look at it now. It's gorgeous, and it is done. So everywhere you stay in Saratoga Springs, all the units, the big villas have been refurbished. Treehouse Villas also has now been refurbished too, and I'm waiting to get some footage there very, very soon. I do want to do a shout out. When we checked in during this trip in mid-May, we met a man named Casey Moran. And he noticed my wristband was from Galactic Star Cruiser. He goes, oh my God, I served in the Star Cruiser. And we shared a lot of stories and talked for about 5-10 minutes about how much we loved it, how much we miss it. And I covered that on many of the shows. Check out my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist on Galactic Star Cruiser. It's all in memory now. Now it's been gone a year. Get back to our room later that day, and we see this in our room. This is Hartman family and this beautiful Mickey plush. And a nice little note from Casey Moran. Casey Moran, just thanking him and thanking us for staying with Disney. So it just touches my heart. Just a little bit of extra Disney magic, all because we were on the Star Cruiser. He recommended my Magic Band. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for joining me today. This is our Saratoga Springs Resort update. We did updates on the pool areas on the villa, and at the end, please rewind this in recording and watch it to the end, because we did cover a refurbished Deluxe Studio tour in the paddock area. All the units, even the Treehouse Villas, are now refurbished in Saratoga Springs.